Hey everyone, how's it going? It is I, the real Randy Chavez, coming at you today with just a general market VeVe update video. Guys, if you're new, welcome. For not, welcome back. I love y'all. Everybody say hello to Dashie. Hello, Dashie. Commenting, liking, subscribing is a free way to help support the channel. Non-free ways are Patreon, smashing that super thanks button down below, and become a member, and Patreon, and raythax.dth domain name, and this is not financial advice. So comment F down in the chat to pay respects for all the people that were trying to short USDC in the 87 to 89 cent range. They got squeezed, and it's pretty much repegged. It's up to, I think, 96, almost 97 cents right now. And we just do have a little bit more information coming in. A buddy of mine, my friend Dan, sent this to me. He's been on the podcast before. This is from TikTok Tick, saying, breaking, per Bloomberg, the FDIC and Fed are considering creating a fund that will backstop and cover losses in deposits beyond the $250,000 current limit. Again, the FDIC only insures up to $250,000 per person, or I think it's per account. Comment down below what difference is. So we have Andrew O'Connell that's saying backstopping deposits greater than 250K equals less reason for the depositors to panic pull their money out of banks and a lower probability of more bank runs next week. So hopefully this is just, that's just it. I do have, I was talking to another friend that just said, hey, just wait it out. It's fine. It's like, I know. This was something that I thought could potentially take Bitcoin back down up to like the 14K level if it was a big mega level extinction event, as in no more USDC, the same way there was no more Luna, Terra Luna that is, or kind of like a Sam Bankman-Fried type of deal. But it seems like this was just kind of a big panic. People had knee-jerk reactions. And again, how did that affect VeVe and Omi? Again, I don't believe VeVe had anything to do with Silicon Valley Bank. I don't believe any of that. There have been a couple of questions like, oh, VeVe hasn't answered these questions when we've asked. Again, there's really no reason for them to have money there, so I'm not concerned at all. Anyway, moving on. Also, we have a London bank that is potentially going to buy Silicon Valley Bank, or bail them out, which is, I think, a very good thing, because you have Circle, Roku, BlockFi, Roblox, Ginkgo, iRhythm, Rocket Lab, Sangamo, Lending Club, and Payoneer, which all has minimum of 20 million to 3.3 billion all in that bank. So yeah, I think that'd be very good for smaller businesses and startups and all that, for them to kind of get bailed out. Anyway, just my opinion. Moving on to VeVe, I do kind of want to do a underrated, overrated thing within some of these collectibles, on some that I think are very undervalued and some that I think are a little overvalued. And I'll tell you which ones I have and which ones I don't have. So one of the ones I'll start that I think is undervalued, this one I do not have, is the Altogether Now. This is the ultra rare Steamboat Willie, which I will die on this hill. I think that should be a first appearance. It is not. They said it won't be. It'll probably never be. That's just the way I feel, my own personal opinion. Anyway, we do have a James Leosi over from Facebook saying, I wanted ultra rare Steamboat Willie since it dropped in 2021. Since the bear market, I've been tempted to buy at so many prices, but I think I finally got to a point where I no longer see a downside. So I finally pulled the trigger. It's either all up from here or continues to go down, and I start stacking. So this person had bought it for $279. Again, this was upwards of $10,000 in the bull market. So I understand that people had cheap gems, and it was, these prices were inflated a bit. But even if you go and say it should be 10% of that, which is, I think, ridiculous. I think it should get up to at least a couple thousand in the next bull run. This at 279 is just a steal, in my opinion. If we go into, we take a look. Now, I will say about the other two, I feel a little bit differently about. I will say the only risk about this is that maybe the people that know Steamboat Willie maybe don't necessarily get into VeVe. I think they will, because it's a very simple onboarding process. It's not like they need a MetaMask. It's not like they need to go through a bunch of different things, wrapping ETH, trying to get on OpenSea or whatever. It's very, very simple for them to do. So I really don't necessarily see that much of an age barrier, or that boomer barrier that you would see with a lot of NFTs and a lot of Web3. But that being said, a lot of people that know this are older, and the majority of people that watch me are interested in this are between the 25 and 45 year old range. And if you're above 60 years old, I mean, Taps Trades, who I was talking to not so long ago, is on a bowling league. He happened to have taking a picture with his Steamboat Willie for his TikTok, and there was this older person there who's like, oh, Steamboat Willie. Didn't say Mickey Mouse. He said Steamboat Willie. So this must have been on when he was a kid, back when dinosaurs walked the earth. No, I kid. I joke. But that being said, there are 6,900 of these. I'm going to comment nice down below for the 69. And the other ones, they're just, in that same set, they're a little more plentiful. There's 18,900 of the common, and then there is 13,900 of the uncommon. And be advised, I have the common. And yeah, will they go up? Sure. There's just a lot of them. But with 6,900 of the ultra rare, and the ultra rare is animated, again, it doesn't have that animated sticker. I'm not 100% sure why, but it is, and I think it's really cool. That one I think is underrated. Another one that I'm going to say is, in my opinion, underrated is the Lucky Side of the Street and You Ain't Seen Nothing Yet. This is Oswald the Lucky Rabbit. I'll go with the secret rares first. The secret rare, the one where he's static on both feet and waving, that is the You Ain't Seen Nothing Yet. That one there's 938 of editions that were made, which means there are 848 editions that were available. It is currently $144.99 or $145. In my opinion, that should be, I would say, I don't know, 5x maybe in the next bull market. Now, we do have a little bit of competition because we do have the opposite. It's basically the same pose, except he's on one foot. That is the Lucky Side of the Street. It is a little bit cheaper, so I guess people like both feet on the ground more than the other ones. I like this one the best. It's 120, and I believe it's the same mint. 927, so it's 837 of those. The ones that I think, again, there's 4,900 of them, is the Lights Camera Hijinks. It's the one that I have. It's $42. Will it go up? Sure. We'll go to like $100 maybe, which is still more than a doubling, which is great. But I think the other ones, they're so cheap for these secret rares, and there's less than 1,000 of them. Like the Steamboat Willie, which again, a lot of older people, like ask anyone under the age of 20 if they know who that is. Like, oh, it's Mickey Mouse. Maybe if they've seen The Outsiders in school, they'll say Steamboat Willie, because you have Emilio Estevez as was this 2-Bit, I think his name was. Comment down below his real name if I'm forgetting or getting that wrong. Yeah, that's the only reason why they would know that. But again, comment down wrong if I'm wrong. Okay, one of the other ones that I'm very, very excited about is Ben Reilly. There's Ben Reilly, the Ultra Rare. There's 616 that were made, just a reference to the 616 universe that a lot of these Marvel characters are in. And that means there's only 526 of them. There is not a lot of those, and I guarantee you that there are a bunch of them. I'm going to say dozens of them that are locked up in accounts. Remember, there's about anywhere between 900,000 and 1 million accounts with at least one collectible that are locked up and are just haven't been active, and they haven't KYC'd, either because they used bots and the account is abandoned, or they just haven't been here in a while. Like my friend Predict she had, I think, she had every collectible of the first 2 seasons. She still has like 20-something million always. She just hasn't been here in a while just because, the bots were rampant. She couldn't get anything. She couldn't get a lot of drops. And then, the bear market. But again, she's queen, one of the queens of Earth 2. Like one of the biggest people in Earth 2. Definitely the queen. Trying to get her on the podcast. Anyway, I'd bet dollars to donuts that there's at least 30 of these, maybe even 10% of these that are locked up in one of those accounts that may never see the light of day again. So instead of 616, again, there's 526. Let's say there's 450 of these. There's 788 right now. These were like 15,000 in the bull market. Maybe if it doesn't get there again, maybe it just gets half of that, 7,500. That's a 10x from here. I think that is a very good buy, in my opinion. I do not have the Ben Reilly. I sold it. That ultra rare, though, is I think that's one of the better buys on this app right now. And I get it. Well, it's not Peter Parker. Technically he is. He is a clone of Peter Parker. He is in every way Peter Parker, except he's not. He's a little more of a loose cannon that, doesn't play by the rules. Like, he really doesn't. Like, Spider-Man holds back. Peter Parker holds back. Ben Reilly, which took a combination of Uncle Ben and his Aunt May's maiden name, May Reilly, fuse those together, and that's his name. But he does not pull his punches. What villain does he do? Like, he punches a villain's jaw clean off. It is savage. Oh, it's so good. I'm sorry. Anyway, moving on. But speaking of Spider-Man, in the What If series, you have Zombie Hunter Spider-Man. And the What If series, we're going to get a What If Season 2 this year. And we may or may not get another Marvel Mighty for that this year. What is it going to be? I don't know. The writers of the Marvel What If series actually wanted to have Luke Skywalker and his X-Wing in an episode, but they said no. Disney, Marvel, whoever it was, shot that down, which I thought would have been so cool. But the writers are thinking that they're thinking really cool things. And last year or 2 years ago, it was last year we got the Captain Carter Marvel Mighty from the What If series. So I think that this year we might get something. Either way, Zombie Hunter Spider-Man. This was over $1,000 at one point. I think it might have been like $1,500. It's $92 now. Again, even if it doesn't get to that $1,500 one, like it was, I still think this could do a 5, 6, maybe an 8x. And again, this is not a ton. There's 3,800 of him, at least for the ultra rare. They do have a common of those, which is quite a lot. There's 18,000 of them. I don't know if I'd really touch that one. I have it. It's $15. If you want one just to complete the set, sure, by all means. $15 to complete the set. If you're already going to spend $100, I think that's probably fair just to get those MCP points. But yeah, that ultra rare, in my opinion, is probably a good buy. But again, just my opinion, not financial advice. All right, time to get some hate. Here's what I think for overrated. And be advised, I have all of the Mighties, every single one of them, multiples of most of them. By the way, I did just get another Cassie and a sub 100 Cassie Lang, and then a sub 100 Ant-Man. Because like Ant-Man, all right, you take a look at the floor. Any Marvel Mighty, you take a look at the floor. Let's say like Ant-Man was like $6.92. For Marvel Mighties, generally what's considered fair value for the sub 100s, if it's a common, is about 10x the floor of the common. Or of the 10x the floor. So if it's $6.92, then it'd be 69. I'm coming nice envelope of 69. Anyway, I gave it a little bit of be conservative. It's like, okay, so anything under $60 for an Ant-Man sub 100 would definitely be worth it. And there were a couple of them. There's one for like 45, there's one for 55, but there was one for like $35. I was like, guys, this is stupid. So I bought it. So that generally, again, for the commons, that's what you do. For the uncommons, I've noticed that it's about an 8x. Sub 100 is worth about 8x of the floor. For the rares, usually about 6x. For the ultras have been tricky, depending on the mint size. I would say give a 4x for that, and then like a 2 to 2.5x for the secret rare. So there's one Namor right now that's a sub 50 that's less than 2x of the price of the floor, and I was like, yeah, I didn't buy it because I don't have 200 something gems. But yeah. Anyway, moving on. Some of the ones that I think are, I would say overvalued, just some that I think people are hyped up a little bit. Okay, so I know that we have not had a good Fantastic Four film ever, at least in my lifetime. No, pretty much ever. And again, I have all of these, but this Mr. Fantastic, there's 28,999 of him. And I get it, he's only $4.50. And I paid $83 for this mother flapper. I just happen to feel like with that many mints and people like me, dum-dums, paying $84 for this is just like, okay, I'm not going to sell mine at this price. If this guy happens to go up to, $20, maybe I'll sell like one or two and just get a little bit of money back and buy other things that I like. I feel like a lot of these first Marvel Mighties that have 18 or like this had 29,000 mints is just a lot. It's like, well, Chavez, aren't we going to have millions of users? Yes, at some point we probably are. But I just feel like a lot of other scarcer NFTs are going to go up a lot quicker first before these guys. So if you thoroughly love these guys and you want to get, it's $5. Okay, sure. I just feel like in the grand scheme of things, when you have some other better looking Marvel Mighties of characters that are like current, I feel like that would give us those would pump first. And I feel like the earlier Marvel Mighties, especially the Eternals is a whole other story just because in the comics they are very, very cool. I thoroughly enjoy them. I think, who was it in the Eternals that gets with Tony Stark? Like they get it on. It was Cersei. I don't think any of these are going to do really well. And I have a couple of sub 100s of these guys. Nobody liked that movie. That's probably Marvel's worst movie in the MCU. Even though I thought it was okay. Yeah, everyone hated that. I don't know if these, I think, not that they're overrated at all. I just think that these are probably going to be the last to grow because there's so many of them. for the Marvel Mighties. The commons are 18,000 each. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 9. There's 10 of them. Yeah, they're the most multiples in a set, and it's just, in my opinion, not worth it. Like, I think a lot of other things would pump first before those. Anyway, moving on. This is a coin flip, this next one. This one that's a coin flip is the Doctor Strange Secret Rare Eye of Agamotto. Chavez, don't you say that could be undervalued? Yes, because... Alright, so here's the full story with this. For those of you that don't know, there are 6 Infinity Stones that go in the Thanos Gauntlet or the Stark Gauntlet, whatever gauntlet you want to reference. Comment down below your favorite gauntlet. And we have 5 of them. When I asked David about it last year at San Diego Comic-Con, he says, we don't release stuff like this for no reason, Randy. Okay, I get it. So I immediately told I made a video about it, like, guys, get a bunch of these. And we have. And the scarcest one right now is the Secret Rare Eye of Agamotto. That had 2,110. And again, this is when bots were kind of rampant a little bit. So let's say instead of 2,110 of them that were made, let's say like 1,500 are maybe available. This is scarce. We don't know that we're getting an airdrop. That's just speculation. But on that speculation that we're getting an airdrop, this thing is $450. Every now and then it goes to $420. Comment blaze it down below for the reference. Or $399 like it was. And now it's back up to $450. And it's a relatively thin floor too. $460, $49, $495. Anyway, if the Soul Stone comes out and it only has 1,000 mints, this is probably going to drop a bit. I mean, maybe not so much because people are still going to need it for the potential airdrop. But if we get that, I feel like this might dip a little bit. And then if they say, oh, hey, you could only, let's say there's no airdrop, but they're just going to not give us a gauntlet. They're going to throw up a gauntlet for us that anyone can purchase. And there's no utility for it. And it's just another collectible that we can collect. Then I think these will go down, like quite a lot. But if the Soul Stone comes out and there's 4,000 of them, 3,200, whatever they are, then this one not only keeps its price, but might ascend a little beyond it, because at that point, okay, this is the scarcest. This is the scarcest one. This is the scarcest one that you see. And then if they say, oh, by the way, the holders for this will get an airdrop, like if they show on the Medium article for the Soul Stone, holders of all 6 Infinity Stones, including, let's say, all of the Secret Rare, or all of the Eye of Agamottos, will get an airdrop of the Thanos Gauntlet, Stark Gauntlet, whatever, it'll be randomized. Then that could go to like 700. That could go crazy. But right now we don't know. It's like Schrodinger's Eye of Agamotto. It could both be undervalued and overvalued. We don't know until the future happens. It's a little time joke. Anyway, please comment, like, and subscribe. Comments are good for the YouTube algorithm. Let me know what you think. Everyone say bye-bye to Dashi. Bye-bye, Dashi. I love you guys. Bye. Meow, meow.